The holiday season is upon us, and those presents aren't just going to magically appear under the tree. So follow me, Kiran Costa, and let's fill up Santa's sack not with gifts, but with winning picks and a whole lot of money. Before we get to all my winners this week, let's see how my West Coast brother Drew Albaugh fared before Feast Week, and well, just like about everybody else this semester, not too hot. That 4-4 record, that's not too bad, Drew. And Pittsburgh plus 2.5 versus Georgia Tech, that cashed. That's a great bet. But the parlay, yikes. 49ers, I know you're a West Coast guy. You had to go with your Seahawks, all of that. You only end up $20 in the red. Could be worse, just like most people. Jake Klein, down $76. Josh Richardson, self-proclaimed betting guru, 9 on 9/19, $62 that he lost. And how about that? Jish Sokolsky, the only guy who's in the green. That's until this week. It's time to beat the bookie.
Hey, Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
We start Conference Championship Week with the Big 12 title game at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Number 4 Texas Tech and number 11 BYU. They both sport identical 11-1 records. The Red Raiders dropped a nail-biter to Arizona State in mid-October, but that was a while ago. And the only blemish on the Cougar season was a loss to this same Texas Tech squad. The two met a month ago, and the Cougars, they didn't put up much of a fight. Texas Tech dominated en route to a 29-7 victory. BYU true freshman Bear Bachmeier couldn't do anything against a staunch Texas pass rush, but other than that, it's been a superb first season for the true freshman signal caller. So a 12.5 spread in a conference championship game with two teams with the same record, that seems like a lot. What's the catch? Here it is. Texas Tech doesn't play close games. The Red Raiders have the second largest average margin of victory in the nation, blowing out opponents by over 29 points per game. So there you have it. Red Raiders tack on another 2-touchdown victory and cover 12.5 point spread against BYU. So there's some fun in the Big 12. How about some chalk in the SEC championship game? What else could you ask for? The two powerhouses of college football go at it with a lot on the line. Alabama and Georgia. Bama needs this game to cement a spot in the college football playoff, and things have been just so far in Tuscaloosa. Bama turned things around after a shocking loss to Florida State on opening weekend, rattling off 8 straight wins, including a 24-21 win over the Bulldogs. But a loss to Oklahoma and a narrow victory in the Iron Bowl have Ty Simpson and crew as underdogs. Running back Jam Miller left last week's Iron Bowl on crutches and is questionable for the ACC title game. This is all I have to say. Who's that coming down the track? I'll take the Mean Machine and the Red and Black to get revenge on the Tide. I'll go Kirby over Kalen, Gunner over Ty, and number 3 over number 9. Throw $10 on Georgia by a field goal down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As great as this matchup is on paper, the outcome doesn't really matter between Ohio State and Indiana. These two teams will be the 1 and 2 seeds heading into the college football playoff no matter the outcome. But I think this is a good feel-it-out game for both these teams, with a bigger matchup coming down the road. The Buckeyes are riding high after finally winning the big game against Michigan. This team somehow looks better than last year's national championship squad. And with Julian Sain at the helm, there's no doubt this team can go back-to-back. On the other side, Curt Cignetti has turned Indiana into a football school, and QB Fernando Mendoza is in the driver's seat for the Heisman Trophy. 2 perfect records, one's gotta go. Give me 10 smackers on the Buckeyes to cover the 4.5 points. Last and least of our games on this championship weekend, we have Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship. Whoever's still watching at this point in the day, well, you probably won't be watching this one. Not sure how many people had this matchup on their bingo cards, and I don't blame them. The idea of either of these teams competing for a conference championship, let alone a college football playoff, that's just sickening, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Let's dive into the matchup. Virginia's having a sneaky good season, 10-2 and ending as the 18th best team in the nation. Duke, on the other hand, has been downright mediocre. finishing with a 7-5 record, but making the conference title game over 10-2 Miami, the ACC tiebreakers. The Blue Devils have faced 3 ranked opponents this year: a 7-point loss to Tulane, a 9-point loss to Georgia, and a 17-point drubbing at the hands of this same Virginia team less than a month ago. When these squads met in Durham in mid-November, it was all Cavaliers. Virginia opened up a 31-3 lead, and a couple late Duke TDs made it somewhat respectable 34-17. Why would anything be different this time around? It won't be. If 3.5-point spread is a trap, I'm falling for it. Give me $10 on the Who's to cover easily. So those are my picks. One last time this year, let's look at what the C-Suite has to say. And the C-Suite has the lead 24-12. They've been hot compared to 20-16 for us better. Texas Tech and BYU were split, and you know what? I'll give you that one. 12.5 is a whole lot of points. Everyone's on Georgia. Everyone's on Ohio State. Great minds think alike on those two. I'm just not seeing the vision for Duke. This team's 7-5. You think they stay within a field goal against a Virginia team that has a couple of great victories? So those are our games of the week. We'll take a look at our best bets. The American Championship game is already in the holiday spirit. A battle between 2 green teams, the Green Wave and the Mean Green, go head-to-head for a spot in the college football playoff. Storylines galore in this one, starting with the head coaches. Both of the bench bosses have accepted different jobs for next season, so for one, it'll be their last game with this group of guys. Drew Mestemaker and the Quick Strike North Texas offense want a shootout full of big plays, while Tulane wants to win it on the ground. The Mean Green do have the edge in the air. They have the second best passing game in the nation, but the Green Wave hold the edge on the ground game. Tulane runs for nearly 5 yards a carry, while North Texas allows 5 yards per run. Championship games are won in the trenches. Florida will have to wait for John Summerall just a little bit longer. The Mestemaker magic runs out. I'm riding the Green Wave as far as it'll go. Nothing fancy. Give me $15 on Tulane money line. That's enough college for one show. Let's turn to the pros in the heat of the playoff race. We start out in Green Bay for a battle for the NFC North lead between the Packers and the Bears. The 2 longest win streaks in the NFC go at it. The Bears have won 5 straight, including a key Black Friday victory over the reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles. The Packers, on the other hand, have won 3 straight, headlined by a Thanksgiving Day win over the Lions. But there is one stat that will decide this game. It's turnovers. The Bears have the most takeaways in the league, 17 interceptions and 9 forced fumbles. The Packers, on the other hand, are 24th. Just 11 forced turnovers as a team. With all that being said, the line opened at a disrespectful Green Bay -6.5, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'll buy you a point back on what's supposed to be a frigid day at Lambeau. Let's take the Road Dogs. Give me $10 on the Bears by 7.5. So the Bears and the Packers can tide you over during the day, but we're all waiting for Sunday night. The Houston Texans head up to Arrowhead to battle the struggling Chiefs. It's a make-or-break week for Andy Reid and company. It seems like KC's 9-year streak of winning the AFC West is all but over. But a playoffs without Patrick Mahomes? That's unheard of. The Chiefs currently have a 35% chance to make the playoffs, which plummets to 11% with a loss. It won't be easy against the Texans teams coming off wins over the Bills and Colts. But here's your difference maker, the weather. In CJ Stroud's NFL career, he's 0-3 in freezing temperatures. The forecast reads 23 degrees come Sunday night in Kansas City. I'll take the inevitable big bad Kansas City Chiefs, -2.5, $15 on that one. All the picks I've given you so far will be wrapped up by the end of the weekend, but here's one more. It's called a future, isn't it? It'll be a while till the NBA season wrapped up, but let's talk about it. The 2015-16 Warriors were special. I got to see it firsthand. But what this year's Oklahoma City Thunder are doing is pretty special as well. OKC is off to a 21-1 start, and mind you, that's without their second best player. Jalen Williams, who returned from injury just this week, is the spark they need to keep on rolling. This team has 6 different players in double digits and a perfectly built roster where everybody fits a role. And hear me out, I think they could get even better before season's end. The Thunder have a plethora of first-round picks, including multiple in this year's draft. I won't be shocked if they land another superstar at the deadline. So with that, let's throw $10 on the Thunder to win 74 games this season, breaking Golden State's record. So let's take a look at the rest of our future bets here. Nico Horning opened with baseball. That's never going to hit. Just Sikolsky, he was in the green, but his parlay did not do so well. Adam Gotkin and Louisville's men's basketball natty, maybe the best chance. Bama and their football natty for Nicholas Whaley. That one, of course, a lot comes down to Saturday. That's enough futures for now. Let's get back to this week. Well, you can make a little bit of money on straight bets, but the money's made with the parlays, and that's exactly what I have for you. Right now, we'll start with the battle of the bird teams. The Seahawks battle the Falcons. What did Gino teach me to do? Shablam, 6.5 for Seattle. This is pretty simple. A good team beats a bad team by a touchdown. Sam Darnold has that team cooking. A little shaky of late, but the Falcons, they aren't too good. Let's take another look. Rams beat another bird team, and this is Matt Stafford out for revenge. He's going to have to pick it up if he wants to stay in the MVP hunt, and he gets his squad a touchdown victory. One more, 6.5-point spread. Wow, a lot of good teams to beat bad teams by a full touchdown, and that's what I'm sticking with. The Raiders are awful, and the Broncos are good. That's all I need to say on that one. Let's throw a money line in there just to boost the odds. The Eagles against the Chargers, you'll have to wait till Monday night to secure all the coin on this one. That rounds you out $10 to win 82, and that's going to be your parlay this week. I've got $10 on number 5 Texas Tech to cover the near 2 touchdowns against BYU. $10 also on Georgia to cover and Ohio State to cover this ACC championship game. If anybody's watching it, number 17 Virginia will cover the 3.5-point spread. Some more fun ones. Tulane, that's just a straight money line as underdogs. Are you kidding me? Against North Texas. In the NFL, the Bears plus 7.5 and the Chiefs to hold a field goal victory over the Texans. And then let's have some real fun all the way in April when the Oklahoma City Thunder set the single season NBA wins record, and this parlay will cash for you on Monday night. That's all the time we have for you on Beat the Bookie. For our producer, Adam Hipsky, associate producer, Griffin Bloomstein, and sports director, Matthew Perry, I'm Kiran Costa saying, let's win some money and enjoy your holiday season.